According to legend, a king wanted to reward his grand vizier, Caesar ibn Tahi, sometimes called a mathematician or a sage, for inventing the game of chess and presenting it to the court. The king, impressed by the game, offered Caesar any reward he desired. Caesar humbly pointed to the chessboard and made a request that seems modest at first. Place 1 grain of rice on the first square. On the second square, place 2 grains. On the third, place 4 grains. Continue doubling the number of grains for each of the 64 squares on the board. Grant me this, and I will be satisfied. The king readily agreed, thinking it was just a small price to pay for such a wonderful gift. He ordered his servant to bring a sack of rice and begin the count. This is the sequence he started. Square 1, 1 grain. Square 2, 2 grains. Square 3, 4 grains. Square 4, 8 grains. Square 5, 16 grains, and so on. The numbers quickly became enormous. By the time they reached the last square, the total number of grains was a staggering number. I can't be able to call such a number right now. Now, this number was far more than the rice that even existed in the entire kingdom, or even the whole world. The king realized he had been outsmarted. This story perfectly illustrates the power of geometric growth, where a number can become unimaginably large in just few steps. Now, looking at this question, how then do we solve? So we'll go back to the formula. What's the formula? That Tn is equal to a arrow all raised to the power of n minus 1, so that the number of term is equal to the first term multiplied by the common ratio raised to the power of that particular term we're looking for minus 1. Now, when you look at this question, what is our first term? Our first term there obviously is 2. That's the first number that appears, which is 2. Our common ratio, how do we get our common ratio? We divide any two consecutive term, and any two consecutive term you get will give you the common ratio. So now check. 6 divided by 2, you have 3. Even if you use 18 divided by 6, you still have 3. So our common ratio is 3. Now, having gotten this, then we'll now start putting it into the formula, that this now becomes T5, which is the fifth term is equal to the first term, which is 2, to be multiplied by the common ratio, which is given as 3, all raised to the power of n, which is 5. 5 minus 1 will give us 4. Now, do not make a mistake by saying 2 times 3, you have 6, this raised to the power of 4. That will be very wrong. So this now becomes T5 will be equal to, that would now be 3 now raised to the power of 4 will give us 81. So we'll have that here will be 2 times 81, which means that T power 5, it's equal to 2 and 16, 162, and that's the answer to that. Now we'll solve one more question, and that will be the end. And okay, note that GP is abbreviated as geometric progression is abbreviated as GP. So now the sum of a GP, now they have 3 formulas. These are the 3 formulas to note. Now, why is this? If you look at this, it just look like it is what you have in here and your denominator that was being flipped. The reason it is so is that if arrow is greater than 1 and you put it here, you will notice that you will never get a negative value. So it will be easier for you to calculate. Also here, when arrow is less than 1, that means it will be negative. So when you put it here at the end of the day, you will not be having negative. So it will be easier for calculation. That's the essence of having the formula in that variety. So let's have one question to solve. Okay, look at the question now. Find the first 5 terms of the GP: 3, 9, 27, and it continues. Now, what you first of all note is, what is my common ratio? That's where you start from. So you know the formula you have to use. Now, 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. Even if you check 27 divided by 9, you still get 3. So the common ratio is 3. It means we're using the first formula here. So what is our first term? In fact, let's just even start solving. So we're looking at the sum of the first 5 terms will be equal to, what is our first term? Our first term is 3 into our common ratio is given as 3, and we're looking for the fifth sum of the first 5 terms. Then here become minus 1 all over our common ratio is given as 3 minus 1. If we proceed with this, we'll then have that this will be 3 into 3 raised to the power of 5. That will 3 raised to the power of 5 will give us 243. So we'll have that here will be 243 minus 1 all raised to the power of 2. So if we simplify further from here, we'll be having that here will be 3 into 242 then all over 2. When this divide this, you have 121. 3 times 121 will give us 363. So the sum of the first 5 terms of this is 363. Okay, so I need us to solve this and put your answer on the comment section. Thank you for following today's class. We'll continue again tomorrow. Bye for now.